Hello and welcome back. Pretty conspicuous fainting right next to the light. Nightlight. Produced by, I assume, some type of oil? Yes. What am I talking about? Going nuts because I keep avoiding having to talk to Meneldir about the Uruk blade. Yes, guys, let's continue with our epic story now. And I'm sure we'll switch back to other quests as well in this episode. First, I actually need to find Meneldir. I mean, it's not such a big town, this one, and yet I have some trouble finding Meneldir. Not that I have looked a lot for him, but yeah. Hey, who are you? Hide and seek, huh? It's a little too early for hide and seek. Okay, let's see. Where else could Meneldir be? Okay, let's figure that out. Oh, he's way over there. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. He was there last time we saw him, or we spoke with him. So why am I surprised? Here we go.
You recovered the Uruk blade from Tegwin before he hurt himself? Very well done.
I mean, barely very well done. You know, I left him play with his sword for hours before I did anything, but Meneldir gets a faraway look in his eye and gazes over the surrounding wall of mosswood. I remember being that age and dreaming only of adventure, of excitement. It was not so very different from young Tedwin when I was a boy growing up in the angle of Mitteltil, where my people dwell. I do not judge him harshly for taking the sword, and I hope you will not either. Well, it's not about judging, it's about saving lives, you know. His parents busy themselves with the work of fortifying Mosswood's defenses, and I dare say they remain unaware of the boy's mischief. I will not tell them if you do not, Bastelbor.
I have been away from the land that was my home for many years now.
Bastelbor. I was once of the Dunedain, my friend, the Rangers of the North. I was once of the Dunedain, my friend, the Rangers of the North, yes. So what? You're not one of them anymore? And one of their several charges was to safeguard these lands and their peoples from harm. Their other duties, well, they're likely as far away as they have always been, and not my concern any longer. I wonder why that is. I will not speak of those today. Very well. But a peaceful village has been attacked and some of its people slain. Will you help me replenish my supplies of the healing herb called Kingsfoil, and defeat any of the creatures nearby that may threaten Mosswood? You will know Kingsfoil by its sweet smell and a few of its leaves. Look for it on the rolling hills to the east of the village. And you're doing what in the meanwhile? Just standing here? On the old south road.
Will you help me replenish my supplies of the healing herb called Kingsfoil?
Yes, of course I will. Let's see, what else? What about you? Merlon?
The raid on Mosswood by that band of Uruks has left our defenses in a terrible state, friend.
The raid on Mosswood by that band of orcs has left our defenses in a terrible state, friend. It wouldn't be too much trouble. Would I ask you to collect fallen branches from the bases of trees outside the town? My back hurts, and also I'm guarding this place, so I can't move. With them, we'll be able to patch up holes in the outer palisade, and replace some of the wood burned during the attacks. I know it does not sound like a very important task, but it would truly be a big help to us. With so many good folk injured and slain during the raid, and Larry thinks we should focus on the small things we can do something about. I suppose I see her point. Yes, I see her point as well. The life of a god, huh?
Could I ask you to collect fallen branches from the bases of trees outside the town?
Yes, you asked nicely enough, and the task is reasonable enough, considering what is at stake. Here's our first piece of king's foil. This small leafy plant could be mistaken for a simple weed by the untrained eye, but to Meneldir, it is a healing herb of unique and beneficial properties. Well, and to many other people who know what they're doing in the wild. Let's see. Okay, defeat beasts. Okay. Sorry. You were just a peaceful beast, but I had to defeat you. Under the orders of a former ranger. There's such thing as a former ranger? I think former ranger is a current ranger, if you ask me, but we shall see. We shall learn probably more about why he doesn't consider himself one of the rangers anymore. You have discovered the Howling Stones. Is that another deed? Okay. Perils of Swampfleet. Okay. The Howling Stones. Wolves have lived at Howling Stones for as long as the people of Mosswood can remember, but they generally do not stray too near to the outer palisade. That has changed in recent nights, however, and now the town guards have seen lupine eyes staring at them from the darkness with unsettling frequency. I see. Okay, very well then. Plenty of deeds around here related to locations. That's fine, especially if we can learn more about the various places. A backpack? Well, that's not why we are here for. Okay, we can defeat some more beasts, I guess. And that should be that. It's interesting that those wolves don't count for a deed, a slayer deed. I mean, I'm glad they don't, because I don't want to exterminate them, you know? The work isn't here, but you find some work tracks to follow. Aha, that's related to the other quest, a work among wolves, right? So now apparently we have to follow the tracks south. Okay, we can do that. Keep following this way, okay. The trail ends at a grisly scene. Perhaps the deer's body holds clues. Holds clues to what? As to the warg's whereabouts. In other words, you want me to poke that corpse real bad, right? I understand. A deer, recently slain. Its body is still warm. The warg emerges from the shadows to defend its meal. Okay. Warg Slayer of Swampfleet. So we have a Warg Slayer deed, okay. Fine. And this was our last piece to defeat. You have slain the wargs of Howling Stones. Give the news to Kled. Not the wargs, but the warg, the one and only warg, yes. Okay. So that was good as well. Of course, as usual, we spread out thin between the main quests, or the epic story quest and other quests, but it's quite alright. We're in no hurry. And that's why we're running. Look at us. We still need to collect more King's Foil. Thought we were done with that. Oh, and boar? Yes, boar meat, okay. Yes, I'm sorry, boar. It's just, oh man. I didn't mean to more casualties as usual than we want to. That's what happens when you wield a sword, and sway it around. There's always collateral damage. That is true with any weapon. The damage might be physical, might be psychological, so If somebody seeing you use a weapon, in a sense, it's collateral damage, if you ask me. Alright, so yeah, we can collect more boar meat. We might as well do that first and then go back with a bunch of quests on the ready. On the branches. The branches that we need to collect should be around the palisades, really. It's really around Mosswood, so this should be an easy quest. Okay. Hill grouse, unfortunately I think I defeated one of those by accident. Here's another boar. 6 out of 10. A wild goat as well. Pretty nice area here. Plenty of carbine here. Where are you? I can't even see you. Hill grouse, those are cool birds. In the game and in real life as well. What about you? Can you give me some meat for winter? Just a joke. Just a stupid old joke. Okay. We need 2 more, guys. Autumn doesn't last, huh? Yeah, there are boars all around us, I guess. We just need to find them. Aha, I see one over there. And the last one over here. All good to go. Now, let's collect some branches. And they must be suitable, mind you. Ah, the life of a guard. Sitting in one place and asking other people to bring branches for them. I guess that's the definition of the life of a guard, right? Otherwise, why would the quest be called the life of a guard? Suitable branch. This branch should serve nicely to patch up some holes in the walls. Okay. If you self-advertise like that, branch, I'll take you. I'll take you. One over here. Let's see, we need 8 of those. Should not be a problem. And more. Okay. Maybe nothing on this side. Can walk that way now, I guess. Let's see. Yeah, around here. Go. Since we need 3 more, I think we'll be done. Yes. Good. Okay, let's talk to this guard first about the boar meat.
Very good! This boar meat should help carry Mosswood through some of the coldest winter months.
Very good, Basselboar, very good. I will see this boar meat is salted and preserved, and it should help carry Mosswood through some of the coldest winter months, when belts must be tightened and plates seem lightest. Why do you need to tighten your belt? If you have plenty of reserves, you don't need to tighten your belt necessarily for winter. I'm glad this task at least proved helpful for the town. I have abandoned my idea of using those craban feathers. A number of uses. My wife said the number might as well have been 0 after she tried the pillow I made from them. You tried the pillow? You tested the pillow on your wife first? Not very wise of you, Bevan. Bevan, you fool, she said to me. It takes more than 8 feathers to make a pillow, and anyone who tries it with craven feathers, of all things, deserves the crimp it would leave in his neck. Oh man. I suppose the good ideas that spring up in autumn, well, they fall when winter comes. Yep, I'd rather deal with the threat of Uruk war bands, lose in the Swamp Fleet, than present my wife with another one of my brand new ideas. Yes, absolutely. I think I'll stick to guarding the town from now on. It's less damaging to my morale. Good. And yet you'll give me some cuts of roast pork? Not bad. Thank you. Guess I didn't have time to cut them myself. And that's fine. Let's see. Maybe let's talk to the other guard. We'll bring the King's Foal to Maneldir as well. Well, since he's on the way, let's talk to him first.
Mosswood is not the only village in Swanfleet. The stable master can help you check on the others.
Thank you for the King's Foil, and for helping dissuade some of the more aggressive creatures from straying too near the village. Against such beasts, Elarian, Bevan, and the others of the guard are more than a match, but against Uruks, I fear they'll be outclassed. The question now is whether Matrup's band was alone, or if there are others of his kind waiting for their next chance to strike. Mosswood is not the only village in Swampfleet, Vassipur. Surprise, surprise. Can I ask you to check on the stewards who live nearby? I will. Visit the stable master here in the village for a quick means of traveling to the village of Clegor in the Strul Vales. They should be told what happened in Mosswood and guard themselves against possible attack. The stable master is to the southwest and provides efficient travel options for reaching distant lands. Distant lands? Well, not so distant, but I mean, I'm sure the village is some distance from here, but I wouldn't call it a distant land.
Can I ask you to check on the stewards who live nearby? The Mosswood stable master will help you.
Fine. I'll do that probably pretty soon. Okay. Here's Marion.
Thank you for these branches. I will see to making use of them.
To patch the holes in our defenses, and perhaps some of the larger branches can be used for tool making. Small items have gone missing of late, for no reason I can tell, and we need to replace them. This has been the life of a Mosswood town guard, ever since they took me on. If Uruks are loose in Swanfleet, that may be about to change. Yes, thank you for the hard biscuits, by the way.
Perhaps you could help me once again.
Yes. They do say change comes slowly, and for now I have other matters to which I must attend. Or perhaps you could help me once again? Marion smiles broadly. That is the spirit. Now, there won't be any Uruks to face this time, but until last night, this was the most common complaint among the townspeople. Ellery says we should handle simple things first. Well, what could be more simple than doing something about the squeaky hinges on doors in Mosswood? Are you kidding me? Cadogan insists he ran outside to attack the raiding Uruks, but they were alerted to his approach by the loud squeak of the door to his home. Aha, now I see where you're going. I'm not sure I believe that story, for it is much more likely that he was running into his house when the hinges gave him away. But who can say for certain? All the same, Scardy Bendblade, should you have a bottle of grease you can use to oil the hinges of the door into the healer's shop and the door of Cadogan's house, which are the two squeakiest offenders. Ignore all the other squeaky houses, because Uruk's ears are not as good as ours. Squeaky doors.
Scardy Benblade, town blacksmith, should have a bottle of grease you can use to oil the hinges.
Fine. We'll oil some hinges after that. And what about you? What do you want, Ayak, the healer?
Might I take a moment of your time?
There's a King's Foil herb. Works wonders. I'm grateful that Manuel shared his knowledge with us, though I wish he didn't wait until a crisis to do so. Funny. In any case, we need more if we hope to continue treating the injured with such efficacy. Now that I know what it looks like, I realize that Kingsfoil grows aplenty in the Howling Stones to the southeast. I'd be grateful if we could gather more. Just watch out for the wolves. I hear they are ill-tempered as of late. Not particularly, at least not with me. The wolves, Kingsfoil. The wolves is Kingsfoil, okay. Let's see. Maybe we can go to the blacksmith. And all the hinges. And all that. Stable masters provide a number of travel routes to speed your arrival to many destinations. Water is wet when liquid. Okay. Alright, Scardy.
Whenever anyone needs something, they come first to me instead of checking the storehouse.
You need a bottle of grease to use on the hinges of squeaky doors throughout Mossworth. Whenever anyone needs something, they come first to me instead of checking the storehouse. He apologized to Scardy for assuming he had such an item. I do have a bottle of just what you need. That's not the point. Ah, fine, take it. While you're at it, how about you test it out on the hinges of my door there? I have noticed a bit of a squeak in the hinges lately, with everyone coming in and out at all hours in search of fine goods. Are you complaining now or what?
While you're at it, how about you test it out on the hinges of my door there?
Okay, I'll test it. Oops. This was the door. Where are the hinges? Door hinges. Doors in Mosswoods have been particularly squeaky of late. A good amount of grease applied to the hinges has put an end to the squeaking. Yes, it has. Do you have anything to say now? Nothing. Okay, fine. No thanks, nothing. Okay, so which doors need some greasing here? Which ones indeed? Okay, this one here. Okay. You have put an end to the squeaking of the healer's shop door. Very well. How proud I am of myself. Okay. One more over here. Squeaking rat. How odd. The squeaking is only getting louder. Yeah, because there's a squeaking rat right here. Okay. You put an end to the squeaking, though not the way Marion intended. Oh boy. Glamorous deeds we're doing, guys. As you can see.
I would not give for a moment's peace.
Let me sell you all this stuff. Repair my gear. So I didn't need much of repairs. Okay, so let's see, we can talk to Marion, I guess. Oops, accidental click there. So good.
How fared your efforts against the squeaky doors of Mossworth?
Don't mock me too much. You tell Marion about what transpired, and he covers his eyes with a weary hand. Rats in the village? I don't like the sound of that, Massabor. Having rats loose in the town could be a danger to the food stores. I'll see what I can do. between the Uruks and the rats. It's a wonder to me that I ever thought the life of a guard might be an uneventful one. And don't forget about moles. Thanks all the same, friend. We here in Mosswood will manage. We always do. Yes. But how would you manage without me, I wonder? How? Okay. Alright, my friends, I think that should do it for this episode. Enjoy your time. Until next time we meet. And then hopefully you'll enjoy our next episode as well. Goodbye. Farewell.